Internet, Mogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today we are going to combine Lux with TAHM KENCH in a deck known as Happy Meal, obviously, as it is an idea that I've been wanting to explore for quite some time now. As ever since TAHM KENCH was revealed, everybody was obviously geared towards building the deck with Soraka, right? Both of the new champions who were clearly designed to work well together. But I do believe that TAHM KENCH, despite what other people say, does have a home in other builds besides the self-healing Star Spring deck. And I think this is potentially one of them. I really like the combination of TAHM KENCH with Lux because we get to utilize Demacia to provide us with barriers, right? We have a full set of Riposte. We even have a one-off of Prismatic Barrier alongside a full set of the Bright Steel Protector, which gives our TAHM KENCH barrier and allows us to go for the Acquired Taste with barrier support to not get struck back, or struck, English. Not get struck back as we go for it, and therefore that's kind of like our way for mitigating damage, right? There are other combos for TAHM KENCH, like for example Freljord with Frostbites, which I did try earlier on today, but that didn't really turn out too well, honestly. And then there's the option of healing TAHM KENCH, which is the primary mode that you see him in, right? But I really do think that with Demacia, he has a lot of potential, and I've been wanting to, you know, get some love back to the Mageseekers. Ever since the Mageseekers got redesigned a while back, you know, they kind of like were popular for a while, and then they just fell a bit into obscurity. And I think cards like Mageseeker Persuader, Mageseeker Investigator, and even the Insider are actually really legit in the right build. In this particular deck, they put in the work. They give us a really solid curve. The idea of this deck is we want to play Remembrance on turn 3, unless we're facing Ionia. Then we have to mix it up and try to find an opening for Remembrance and do our best to navigate around Deny. But unless we're facing Ionia, we want to play Remembrance on turn 3 by not doing anything turns 1 and 2. Therefore, we trigger, not only do we get like a 5-cost Demacia unit on turn 3, which is really good, but we also get to enhance all of our Mageseekers. You know, we piss them off for playing Magic, and we get a 6/5 for 4 mana. We have a 2 mana 4/3 with Challenger, and we get multiple copies of Detain throughout playing our Mageseekers Investigators, which happen to synergize and help us level up TAHM KENCH a little bit quicker, while at the same time they are spells, so they help us level up and generate final sparks. So the idea of combining Lux with TAHM KENCH goes beyond just, oh, Demacia barriers go burr, right? Like, it's actually more. Lux benefits from TAHM KENCH, as TAHM KENCH is giving you for free basically a 2 mana spell that is 1/3 of Lux's final spark generation requirement, right? So by going for example, an Acquired Taste, and then our opponent reacts to something, and we go with Riposte, we get a final spark. On top of the fact that we are eliminating a unit as well, right? So this gives us a really solid game plan to control the board, as we have a good curve ourselves, challengers, neat tools against the aggressive decks like Radiant Guardian, and generally the ability to establish good presence on the field and then remove the opponent's threats little by little, step by step. It's not like a super fast process, but slowly but surely you gain board dominance, and with that, in conjunction with Relentless Pursuit, aka rally effects, we are able to also punish control decks as well. We want to be able to have a good matchup against unit-based decks, like we mentioned, but we also want to be able to have a alternate game plan against decks that are more reactive and play little units. So that is the purpose of that, and the purpose of a one-off of Unyielding Spirit. It's meant for the Shadow Owls control matchups as well, as they go for something like a Vengeance or Ruination. We go for Unyielding Spirit onto Lux, and we're pretty much on our way to winning. So that's basically all I gotta say. Hopefully you guys enjoy this deck and the gameplay that I got for today. I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know, TAHM KENCH is not the MVP. I cry every time. We had a small sample size today, only 3 games, as usually my sessions are lately. And unfortunately, you know, we just didn't draw TAHM KENCH enough, or we drew him too late. So he puts in... He does a lot more in this deck than what initially comes to mind, right? And I really want to clarify that. I also want to clarify back-to-back really quick, because it is a 3-of in this deck, and some people may be confused. I think it's really, really good with Lux and Challengers in general, I think just back-to-back with Lux is amazing. I've always been a big advocate of this card with Lux. And on top of that, it works really well with TAHM KENCH too. It can allow us to buff TAHM KENCH and potentially heal him and prevent him from dying from damage-based removal. So I like back-to-back a lot. It can also be really strong against control, as you can combine back-to-back with a Relentless Pursuit to basically take them down, right? And punish them for leaving themselves wide open to a rally effect. And that's basically that. So I'm going to stop talking. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Hope you enjoy the games. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, here we go. As we're facing Heimerdinger, game 1. And honestly, I have no idea how this matchup goes. We're just going to have to find out. I'm going to drop the back-to-back here. The Bryce the Protector as well. I'm going to keep the Mageseeker Investigator. It can be really good with Heimerdinger. And I am also going to keep that nice turn 3 Remembrance, which is what we're working for anyways. Mageseeker Insider is also a nice follow-up of that. Though it depends on how much we're playing into the likes of Thermogenic Beam. I'm going to let them have a gem. It's not the end of the world. It's not like we're facing Lee Sin. We lead off with the Remembrance. This way we enable all of our Mageseekers. And we get a pretty good one as well, because the gem won't stop this. And we're also not vulnerable to Thermogenic Beam taking us out.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way. Have faith.
I'm gonna get rid of that. Beef up my Screeching Dragon. I'm not gonna trade into the Mountain Goat unless I absolutely have to. I do like the idea of Bryce the Protector into Mageseeker Investigator next turn. Since he did that, I mean, Mageseeker Insider is really.
Each journey is a discovery.
Mageseeker Insider is pretty neat here, just because it applies a lot of pressure.
Their guilt is evident.
But I prefer Persuader, carrying over 2 spell mana to then follow up
You're covered.
with Bryce Theo Protectors here. Didn't expect to draw another one. I was planning on playing Investigator, but I could also just play this. Though having Investigator on the board, it feels really neat. And this current state right now is pretty damn good for me, because even if my opponent does develop Heimerdinger after my combat phase, it won't really matter. I am gonna go W though. I can make better use of Barrier than Line, right?
Magic must be stopped
Before it spreads.
Because magic is like Ebola. Magic is just, it's a virus. According to these people. You ain't got no alibi. I don't think a second barrier, like I've been thinking about it for a bit, right? I don't think a second barrier really is warranted here.
I see all. You have no alibi.
Steel is yours.
You can't outrun justice. You have no alibi.
Interesting. Alright, get him down to 14. The moment he plays Heimerdingers, the moment we will single combat.
Ah, the sweet smell of science.
Investigator should suffice. He has no mana left.
Added to the bug
There's
list.
no ways to protect him from that. I'd rather have her take a bit of damage over my Persuader. My Persuader is actually pretty damn good, man. A 4-3 with Challenger. Yeah, we want to keep that healthy and useful.
Answers, I have them.
Stay safe, my lady. Mages are everywhere.
We could see a gem.
Don't you worry about me.
Just when I needed assistance.
You can't outrun justice.
Let's take Heimerdinger, the second Heimerdinger actually, to jail. Hopefully we succeed in doing so. I'm gonna react with single combat. What do you discard, by the way? No, we can't see right now. I think it was a gem, right? It was the second gem. Yeah, it was the second gem. If he has him leading off with, he get excited. Yeah.
Unforeseen outcome.
Knocking that out is great. We have salvage to enable Lux. Just to get the level up and also survive here.
Pushing my limits.
Pushing my limits. All right, we get the final spark here. We don't like get to use it or anything. I cry every time. But at the very least, we got a significant card advantage over our opponent. We got some really solid options here in our hand. Another Lux. And our opponent's down 2 Heimerdingers. Vi is not really threatening at all. And that's just great for us.
Got your back. Bring them home safely.
I'm gonna play that. We got him. Shut down, baby.
Would it help if I apologized?
Lux has her own, you know, indirect style of BM. TAHM KENCH MVP, clearly. So, yeah, definitely really highlighted the Mageseeker synergy in this deck. It's been a while since I've seen, like, decks actually go so, like, added so many Mageseekers, right? And they definitely, like, the curve felt really good. Remembrance against a non-Ionia deck on turn 3 still feels fantastic. And overall, that was a solid game. Let's go for another one. Just realize this. It is considered rude to ask Soraka about her horn. Is it supposed to be like a penis or something? I'm not quite sure. I have heard something like that in the past. You know, like a lot of like fantasy, or you know, yeah, fantasy themed like lore and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Too easy, too good. I like this little line at the end. It says, Guardians are interactive little friends who will cheer for you, however you play. So, even if you're an absolute degenerate, playing easy Draven, you get to play Guardians too. Though this guy probably just has a Poro. This is boring. Or, you know, not pay to win like me. We're gonna keep the Remembrance, and I'm gonna drop 1 Bright Steel Protector. I don't mind I like the Riposte. I'm gonna keep it like this, actually. I do like some barrier synergies, considering the matchup. Especially as we attempt to navigate around the likes of Thermogenic Beam. We're gonna take the hit. And now we're gonna pray to our Lord Almighty Cthulhu that we do not get a Radiant Guardian. Anything but. And I'm happy. That's good. Oh. We technically don't lose value out of it. We get Member of the Fallen. Not the most ideal start, but not the worst at the same time.
My shield is yours.
Let's do this.
I'll stop you.
Going down to 12, getting a little bit of pressure early on. Let's see if we can navigate around this a little bit.
Protect and strike.
I'm gonna attack first. Surprised that he enabled the Radiant Guardian like that.
Today we turn the tide of war.
That's a good pickup.
Mages can't hide from me.
The sun is shining. We should too.
So we're gonna go with Lux. We have the same amount of cards in hand and the same board. The only difference is we are down 8 health points while they're still sitting at 20. So we naturally have a lot of work to do. We didn't draw into TAHM Kench this game either, even though I don't think TAHM Kench is a reliable source in this particular match because they do have access to a lot of damage.
Time for a true display of skill.
I mean, if my opponent commits the mistake of attacking with that, he's gonna get punished.
This is my choice.
Get punished. Get punished. Get punished.
My shield is yours. Demacians protect each other.
We're gonna start making use of the Persuader to pick off his board here.
Raven down.
Pushing my limits.
Now we go for the final spark.
Protect Demacia.
By the light. Honor guide me. Illuminate the enemy.
Not an attack with Lux. I really don't want to give him that trade. All right.
Out. The sun is shining. We should too.
We can play Lux because we know that we are safe with her here, with the barrier.
Press on. My shield is yours. Demacians protect each other.
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform?
Let's brighten up their day.
Aye, roar!
I'll protect you.
Fool them!
I have the best job.
I'm gonna pass here. I'm drawing a few too many riposts. And I am worried about a Captain Baron.
Check me out! I thought you'd never ask.
But now being able to save up that riposte for this turn, I can knock out Ezreal. And I can also have a barrier blocker that can discourage him from attacking here. Right.
By the light!
No way!
God axes need victims.
This is my choice.
You suck.
Yes. Triple barrier, baby. Really sucks that I'm gonna miss out on all this attack, though.
No more holding back!
We are running out of gas.
Into battle with hearts aglow!
But I'm definitely gonna go for the open attack here. Because he does go for that, alright. Let's just hope he doesn't have any pings here.
This place reeks of foul magic.
We have the Purified Detain combo as well. Alright, that down goes that. Okay, intense game, but I see the finish line. I repeat, I see the finish line.
I'll break this cage. I've been propagating quiet the appetite. Crush them to dust.
These are foul magics.
We're using the detain. We're using the detain on, like, the only thing that stops us is double get excited. Double get excited is the only thing that wins here. So you would have to top deck or get excited and have another one in hand. Having already played one, let's go in. Let's go for the kill, baby. We got this. Uh-oh. I mean, come on, the odds just aren't there. You're not Yugi. I'm Yugi. Get out of here. Woo! There we go. TAHM KENCH
Did we win?
with the cameo. We did, Lux. We did. That game was so fire that I just crashed my client. It happens. Pretty sure you'd learn that in coding sometime. Okay, we're online again though. All right, that was a sick ass game, man. It's very rewarding because I've been trying out a different version of TAHM KENCH this morning and it was absolutely atrocious. So it's really nice to see this one put in the work, even though it's mostly been Lux and Mageseekers. Like I said, TAHM KENCH had a bit of like a late cameo appearance there, but that's basically it. Let's see if we can make him shine a little bit better. Oops. Round 3. All right, here we go. Oh, I know this deck. Now, this is like the 3rd time that I've run into it in a video, but I finally know what it is. It's a big boy overwhelm deck, ladies and gentlemen. Let's drop the back-to-back. We can drop the Prismatic Barrier for now as well. I want to keep the Mageseeker Investigator. Just because after I go for my turn 3 Remembrance, I'm going to be able to spawn some Detains. Though I am still worried about just overall early aggression, though. We do find TAHM KENCH early on as well, but like I said, our lack of activity early on is a bit of a weakness, but we don't get punished here. I could just drop the Mageseeker Investigator, though. Nah, turn 3 Remembrance has to be better. Definitely. super worth it. A turn 3 Vanguard Cavalry.
Leave your bags at the door.
That's my kind of shit. He could have some sort of buff. I'm not playing around Pale Cascade, naturally, because it's not the region. But he could have, like, you know, Elixir of Wrath, Might. There's a bazillion things he could have here. I'm not entirely sure what it could be, but if it's just a troll chain, that's fine. I'm barely taking any damage from this guy, anyways. He delays my attack, but he loses a little bit of mana and card advantage.
Nothing can stop us.
There's always room for supper. I'm sure there's something for my taste.
Cavalry, to the field!
I've carved meat bigger than you.
Who's gonna close up?
Who's gonna close up? We got all the tools here, by the way.
Fight or die.
Just gotta be smart about it.
You're covered.
What if he has some sort of ping? Do you have some sort of ping? Like a death's hand or something random? Oh. Okay, so I done goofed there. I should have built up more mana. I had stuff like Sharp Sight anyways. Definitely my own mistake right there.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Let's see if Lux can redeem ourselves. Oh, that sucks, man. I was really gonna make TAHM KENCH shine there. And I have the tools to navigate around that. It's just that I also don't know exactly what they're running, so that also affects my gameplay a little bit.
Shine with me.
We get to make use of our barrier here.
This place reeks of foul magic.
Rude.
I'm gonna start playing these investigators. I don't really need to resort to salvage for a while.
Protect and strike.
All right, fill the valley.
No closer.
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
Better. Brighter than before.
History will judge you.
No more holding back.
Magic corrupts Demacia from within.
Your Demasia's nothing like what I know.
I'm gonna try to lock him down before he has a chance to regroup.
Into battle with hearts aglow.
Yep. Before he can do anything, he can decimate, Noxian Fervor, whatever.
Justice.
And all things bright! Got him! Got him, baby.
The superior tactic
It's to never give up. Bless you and your corniness. Looks not even bad, boy. All right, so I'm a little bit upset at how I played my TAHM Kench there, but then again, like I said, Culling Strike is not, like, normally when I'm facing a meta deck, like, I know 100% that, you know, what they have, close to 100%, right? It depends, people can tweak standard deck list here and there, right? But for the most part, I have an idea what they're playing, but because that deck is like very fringe and I've run into it very few times, I wasn't sure if they were playing stuff like Culling Strike, which is why I didn't play my TAHM Kench as well as I could have. Really, you know, it is a little bit unfortunate because I really wanted to highlight how good TAHM Kench is in this deck. But I am running very low on time today because I did try to record a video before this with the frozen food deck, but it's really bad in this meta. Like, I had to bail on that recording after, like, I went like 3 and 7 or something like that. So it just it didn't work out well, and I spent quite a bit trying recording with that. Like, sometimes it happens, you know, in case you guys don't know, a little bit behind the scenes, I guess, information here. Like, sometimes when I record a video, I want to make sure that the deck that I share with you guys is competitive and works out well. So, at the very least, it has to have a positive win rate in my sessions, right? If it doesn't, I have to scrap the video because I don't want to upload a video with a deck that I don't think you guys are going to have success with, right? So, I think that's pretty straightforward in that sense. So, yeah, because of that, I spent more time today, and I ended up, ending this recording, like, pretty late. So, for the sake of my editor, who happens to be my girlfriend as well, I'm going to call the video to an end here. Even though we didn't get to showcase TAHM Kench in his full potential. But try this deck out, and you'll see how well he works with all the barrier synergy. It's just, I don't know. I'm really into, like, the Demacia mid-range list all of a sudden, I guess. You know, I'm quite the terror. I mean, not exactly, though, because the Yasuo Leona isn't Demacia, though it does feel like Demacia. But yeah, at this point, I'm just, like, rambling, so I'm going to stop. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like for Lux, at the very least. She definitely did perform today. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck idea. And that's basically all I gotta say. Have a soul day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.